This wasn't just a defeat, it was a systemic failure. The lights went out. Alarms blare, smoke swirls, and the whole structure groans. As the initial shock wears off, Stokes, Brendon McCullum, and the squad start to see the new reality. They're hurt, disoriented, and the damage is very real. But before they can even process it, the noise from outside begins. The public, the pundits, the media, everyone starts shouting. Tear it all up. Sack the lot. Go back to the old ways. But panic isn't the answer. The leaders inside, Stokes and McCullum, know that this external noise is based on frustration and limited information. They see the real crisis. On one side, a wave of negativity threatens to drown their team culture. On the other, a fire of radical change risks burning down all the progress they've made over the last 3 years. The structure is damaged, yes, but it's not a complete write-off. Cold, calm discussion is what's needed now, grounded in the unvarnished truth. They hold the leadership keys because they alone understand the full extent of the damage and, crucially, which parts of their game are still sound. They know a safe escape still exists, but only if they don't panic. It requires a balanced response, built not on fear, but on a clear-eyed assessment of the facts. The biggest mistake England could make now is to throw away the game plan they've carefully built. The key is to figure out where their approach, which is sound in principle, went wrong in execution against a ruthless Australian team. For all the talk of a humbling loss, the truth is, England had plenty of positives. They were arguably in a winning position more than once. Australia won because they were superior in 3 critical areas and had a better plan for Perth Test conditions. They had the best bowler in Mitchell Starc, the best batter in Travis Head, and the more tactically sharp captain in Stephen Smith. The most critical error was the length England's bowlers bowled in both innings. It's a classic mistake touring teams make in Perth. Seduced by the bounce, they bowled too short, too often. Interestingly, Jofra Archer bowled the most consistent fuller length in the first innings and troubled every Australian batter, even Stokes' own excellent figures, which came from a mix of short and full deliveries. Might have accidentally clouded the team's judgment. This confusion became fatal when Travis Head came out to bat in the second innings. His intent to attack was obvious, yet England fell for the oldest trap in the book, dropping the ball short and wide. By taking the full ball and the threats of being bowled or getting an LBW out of the equation, England basically helped him on his way. What they desperately needed to do was pitch it up and force him to play more difficult, straighter shots down the ground. And the task doesn't get any easier. The next test is in Brisbane. The pink ball will swing and seam, and once again, bowling a full length will be the biggest challenge. England must prepare for the Aussie attack of Starc, Boland, and Doggett to pitch it up relentlessly. And England's bowlers have to do the same. This is no time for half measures. The mantra for the bowling unit has to be, if in doubt, pitch it up. But there's a more worrying structural weakness, and it lies with England's top-order batters. They seem to have adopted a uniform initial movement that just won't work against a swinging pink ball. Too many of them make a big step back and across with their back foot, then plant their front foot. They basically move from one static position to another, with that front foot often ending up in front of the middle stump. From there, foot movement is severely restricted. They become rooted to the spot, relying only on their hands and arms to reach for the ball. This is incredibly risky, especially against a full, straight delivery, where they're forced to play around their front leg. The response has to start with technical adjustments from the key batters. Harry Brook is a prime example of needless complexity. His earlier, successful method was simple, with minimal movement, which allowed him to use the bowler's angle. His current movement has stripped him of scoring options and forced him into riskier shots. He needs to go back to the tapes, reevaluate, and simplify his game. Ben Duckett and Ollie Pope both showed periods of resilience in Perth, offering a foundation to build on. They proved that the aggressive method can work as long as the footwork is precise and the shot selection is smart. Pope has a similar problem to Brook, where his initial movements leave his front leg exposed to full, straight balls. Commentators noticed his head falling over to the offside, but they couldn't explain why. It's because those early movements take his leg to the line of the ball, so his head has to be on the offside of it. He needs to fix the leg issue first, and the head position will follow. Zak Crawley is the one who probably has the most soul-searching to do. His stand and deliver driving style, while it looks good, won't be any more successful in Brisbane than it was in Perth. You can't change a lifetime's habit in 12 days, so he has to be incredibly disciplined with his shot selection at the Gabba, only driving at half volleys and full tosses. Unless he can add a genuine defense and the confidence to leave the ball, his struggles will only continue. So what's the plan? The schedule leading up to Brisbane must be strictly managed. The batters who will play in the next test must play the pink ball game in Canberra to get that crucial center wicket practice against a moving ball. At the same time, the entire bowling unit has to dedicate their practice time to relentlessly hitting a fuller length and forcing the Australian batters to drive. The alarm bells are deafening, and the outside noise is a constant distraction. But panic will only lead to catastrophic decisions. Stokes and McCullum must stay calm, trust the intelligence they gathered in Perth, both the positives and the clear errors, and create a balanced response. Going into a shell isn't the answer, but neither is mindlessly continuing the same helter-skelter approach. Discipline and smart decision-making are what's required to get back into this contest. The structure is sound enough to escape from this crisis. But England must not listen to the shouting from the outside, they must learn the lessons from within. Only then can they hope to get back on course, before the race is over, before it's truly begun. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more cricket analysis.